but he had strong moral and ethical values. He taught me the value of hard work, the importance of honesty, and the power of compassion. He encouraged me to help others, particularly the less fortunate, and to always do what was right. He told me to always be respectful and polite to others, especially to my elders. Once I became a parent myself, I realized these lessons and values he had taught me were so important in life. I find myself constantly reminding my children to do the same. The most special moment in remembering my father was his role as a grandfather. The joy and love he had for his grandchildren were immeasurable. He was always so happy and excited to see them that his eyes lit up, and he beamed with joy even through his last days with us. The special connection between them is something that I'll always cherish and be thankful for. Dad, thank you for your sacrifice, every lesson, every moment of love you've shown me. I love you and I miss you. Rest in peace, knowing that your love and sense of humor will live on inside us forever, until we meet again.
Cảm ơn hai cháu. Kính thưa quý vị, thay mặt cho Tang gia, chúng tôi xin được trân trọng cảm tạ quý quan khách, quý hội đoàn, các viên trưởng và các bạn của chúng tôi trong không quân. Anh Khuông với những lời sau cùng nhất định phải xin làm sao cho giản dị. Anh không muốn những cái vấn đề như là quốc cờ, vấn đề phủ quốc kỳ vân vân, nhưng với tình anh em làm sao mà có thể không được. Thành ra chúng tôi rất là tiếc bởi vì đông quá không đủ thì giờ cho tất cả quý vị có thể cùng lên đây chia sẻ những lời cuối cùng với anh Khuông. Thì tôi xin được trân trọng thông báo sau khi chúng tôi nói chấm dứt thì sẽ được mời anh hội trưởng của hội Không quân California lên làm lễ truy điệu và tưởng nhớ Phạm Đình Khuông. Sau đó có hai vị liên trưởng có đôi lời chia sẻ, thì đó là những ưu tiên đầu tiên mà chúng tôi muốn được mời lên. Xin lúc đó xin vui lòng chúng ta ức và chúng ta có ý vui lòng sửa soạn khi đến phiên của mình. Bởi vì nhà quản đã ấn định và bên nhà thờ Quân Vân cũng tuyên bố họ sẽ cố gắng đóng nắp quan tài vào lúc 12:30 cho tới 1:15. Thì giờ eo hẹp quá thì chúng tôi xin quý vị cảm thông. Kính thưa quý vị, thay mặt cho Liên khóa Không quân 1965, chúng tôi xin được có đôi lời chia sẻ để gửi tới Phạm Đình Khuông. Kính thưa quý vị, vào đầu năm 1960, Mặt trận Giải phóng miền Nam thành lập với sự giúp đỡ tận tình của Bắc Việt. Từ đó giặc nội thổ, giặc ngoại biên đã tràn về, bắt đầu phổ biến ở miền Nam Việt Nam. Chính phủ Việt Nam Cộng Hòa bắt buộc phải tăng quân để bảo vệ bờ cõi. Thêm vào nữa, nếu quý vị còn nhớ vào cái tuổi thanh niên, chúng ta ở trong những dạp chiếu bóng nó có những câu bởi vì vợ chồng của cháu gái lớn nhất của anh Khuông cũng xin được chia sẻ trước, thì tôi xin được hỏi. Xin mời đây, mời anh. Sau khi bác rể của anh Khuông nói thì sẽ tới phiên tôi trở lại.
Hello everyone. My name is Robert, and I am Khuong's only son-in-law, the husband of his youngest daughter, Kim. Thank you for coming today to mourn the loss of a great man, but more so to celebrate the fulfilling and blessed life of a proud, charismatic, loyal, and loving husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend, Không Tang. I've had the honor and fortune to be a part of the Phạm family for just over 24 years, nearly half of my life. 5 years as the boyfriend, 1 year as the fiance, and 18 years as the son and brother-in-law. Over this time, I've come to intricately know, deeply care for, and love all of them. With this backdrop, and with a heavy heart, I wanted to say a few words about the man I came to call Dad, and eventually call home. When I was a young boy, I distinctly remember my father explaining to me the importance of a good handshake. I remember him telling me, you can learn a lot about a person from a handshake. For me, the handshake was an omnipresent gesture, an unspoken form of communication between myself and my father-in-law. For 24 years, every greeting, every farewell was christened with a handshake. Never a hug, only a handshake. And this remained steadfast and true from the first time I met him up until holding his hand in the hospital during his last days with us. Our ever-evolving handshake will be the source of inspiration for me to share some of my memories and thoughts of Khuông, or as I call him, Mr. Phạm, then Dad, then Mom. I still remember the first time I met Mr. Phạm. This is how I addressed him for the first 6 years of knowing him. I remember the anxious moments walking to the door of Kim's house to meet him for the first time. He was an intimidating figure with his tall stature and deep resonating voice. And for those of you who knew him well, he had strong and muscular hands. Our first handshake was intimidating and firm, almost saying to me, you better not play any funny games with my baby daughter. And yet, at the same time, a subtle softness and welcoming feeling. Our handshakes for the next 6 months fell within this description until Kim and I were married. His handshake told me he was strong, confident, and proud. Sincere and honest, protective and caring, and genuine and welcoming. Mr. Phạm was all of these things. He was a confident individual who stood up for what he believed in, sometimes to the point of stubbornness and beyond. Mr. Phạm was a man of his word, always keeping his promise and never making promises he couldn't keep. He was protective of and caring for people he loved, especially his family. And during my 6-year initiation into the family, he always made me feel welcome. 6 years of handshakes have passed, and now I had married his youngest daughter, Kim, and have proven my pure intentions to love and cherish her. And from this point on, Dad, as I called him for the rest of our year together, Dad's handshakes slowly evolved. The handshakes were still confident and firm, but a softer, more vulnerable side began to show itself. For the next 7 years, the intimidating and imposing major of the Vietnamese Air Force started to show a softer side. I came to realize and observe a man who was generous and caring, consistently wanting to help others less fortunate than him. I remember him helping the community and always praying for those in need. I also came to know a man who was sentimental, caring, and silly, specifically when it came to his family, his wife and his 3 daughters. I had the fortune of witnessing his genuinely infectious smile when his daughters would come and visit. If his help was needed, he would do his best. If they weren't feeling well, he would worry about them. To Dad, although he may not have been the best at expressing it, his family was the most precious and dear to him, always wanting the best for them. 7 more years passed, and this marked the game changer. It was at this point that his handshake became completely soft and endearing. the firmness, strength, and intimidation be completely replaced with softness and elation. It was all due to Kim and I welcoming our first son, Landon, into this world.
Grandchildren melted Dad's heart with its true joy, love, and elation. It was evident from the very beginning when he cried and the news we were expecting. And his handshake supported every fiber of his newfound joy. To see his eyes light up and his smile from ear to ear every time he would see them was truly touching. He would play with them, talk with them, joke with them every chance he got. His love for his grandsons, Landon and Kyle, will leave an indelible mark in my mind, heart, and soul. I am so thankful and grateful that my two boys had the fortune and opportunity to experience and share the unconditional love from their own. That's grandfather Vietnamese. His love for them was too short-lived. However, I know that Landon and Kyle were two of the biggest reasons and sources for his fighting spirit during his battle with cancer. To see his spirit soar once again in his completely weakened state when he got to see the boys during his last days with us will forever stay with me in my heart. Although he could not verbalize or physically show his elation, when Landon and Kyle were by his bedside during his last days, we all know how truly happy and whole he was to have them there. So my time with Dad and Om have come full circle. From our initial handshake to once again holding his hand in the hospital. But this time, embracing each other's hands for an extended period of time. His grasp telling me he was going to be A-OK as he joined our Savior in heaven and watches down on us from above. And my grasp thanking him for fighting for and raising an exceptionally beautiful, loving, and accepting me into this loving family. Thank you for helping shape and influence the amazing woman Kim I love and cherish. And thank you for giving all your heart and soul to my precious boys and letting them experience your unconditional love. Dad, we will miss you dearly, but we will rest assured knowing that you are looking down on us and knowing that a piece of you lives on in each and every one of us. We love you until we meet again.